Hi, this is a reading for our Virgos. I'm going to go ahead and get started. I hope everybody's having a great day, great week. Our Virgos at this time are feeling extra sensitive. There are a lot of energies that we're feeling at this time, and it can feel a little confusing because we are ones who also pick up on other energies, and sometimes when we do that, we get a little flustered because of the fact that we do feel a lot, and sometimes we can't tell if it is coming from our body or on the outside. But welcome to my channel. Thank you for hanging out with me. I'm gonna go ahead and get right into it. I did take some notes here for our Virgos. Also, I'm going to add, if you are a Virgo who is running your own business, perhaps maybe you are just starting your own business, at this time could be a little rocky. There could be a situation that you're having to deal with at this time. You're saying that it is one that you have stayed dedicated and have invested a lot of time in, understood. Be very vigilant with who you work with. Be very careful also with how you are spending, how you're going about with your investments with the Seven of Pentacles here. A lot, I love how the Hermit card came out here. Of course, every time a Virgo reading, on every Virgo reading, I think, the Hermit card always pops up, always make himself known. And then we have the Sun here. But yes, going back to what I was saying about being very vigilant and be cautious about how you are going about your investments. That has a lot to do with, I want to say, these collaborations that you are opening yourself up to at this time. These are great. These will increase, also most importantly, you say your confidence, you moving on up, you also being recognized for your efforts. I love that. With a Six of Wands here, you are being recognized for your hard work, your dedication. I love it. I just love using that word, dedication. I love it because it tells a lot. You know what I mean? It's very noble in my perspective. And that to me is very important, especially for our Virgos. Our Virgos are very, very classy in a way, sophisticated, that's the word. When it comes to having to keep things in order, whether that would be at work, at home, your lifestyle has to be in the order that feels absolutely right to you, our Virgos say. But yes, matter in business, matter a situation that you're having at work, just be very vigilant on how you are reacting as well. We are losing a lot of our patience at this time. You know, when you come across somebody or a situation, or even maybe in a conversation that you're having with somebody where you feel you're expressing a whole lot about your identity. You're expressing a whole lot about yourself. Sometimes, if you are a Virgo, again, if you are new to my channel, welcome. Right now, I am picking up a lot on our Virgos, the sign of Virgo. These are energies, these are themes also that is happening in our energy fields. This is what is coming and going sporadically throughout maybe Gemini season. But now going into Cancer season, all of that is pretty much cleansing itself and then moving on to Cancer season with a fresh new outlook on our perception, on our identity. You have already probably changed your hair. You have already probably dyed your hair a different color. I love that. I'm thinking of doing mine as well. Like a whole new wardrobe, you say. Virgos, we love to change our looks, right? We go into sometimes this retreat, you know, when sometimes Virgos, when we take on so much responsibility and also having to please everybody around us, because you say this is a task, a job that Virgos have to accommodate to with people. Virgos say we have to have our own retreat with the Hermit card. We always have to go in hermit mode because we also have the need to heal and get to know ourselves. Especially in times when we are constantly changing something about ourselves. But Virgos have this tendency to come into a retreat with themselves when need be, because there is a lot of pleasing, there is a lot of accommodating, there is a lot of being a service to others. And coming in to a retreat and making time for alone time is essential to our Virgos, because we would like to come out of our retreat feeling brand new, and also having enough energy and love for ourselves, and also having to radiate that energy out to all the signs, to everybody. Virgos is also our healers. Without this retreat for myself, without having to care for my body, and without needing to find self-awareness for ourselves, we are no help. We are no use for you. We're no use. We are no tool. We're not useful if we are not good for ourselves. And so that retreat, that alone time, that need to change your look, that need to change your wardrobe, perhaps maybe your whole identity, the need to change something about yourself, that gives you more confidence coming back out of that retreat, and you have more energy to give to other people. Because for you, Virgo, you say your job, your task is to be of service to others. Your job is to make people feel good, even in times when we really don't. But it is a task that at hand that needs to be accommodated to for us, and then back to you. With the Hermit mode, that tells me, along with the Seven of Pentacles, I want to show you guys here in just a minute, this is us having to give back to ourselves, and we always have to give back to ourselves so that we are more than enough to give back to you. There is a lot of that retreat that Virgos need to do, because we make a lot of compromises in our daily routine. We make a lot of compromises and on a daily, right? All of that pleasing everybody, all of the compromises that we face, you say, this is why we go into a retreat, because it is very overwhelming for Virgos also. We might think that Virgos can handle everything and can heal everyone, and that is very much true, but we are also just as human as you, Virgos say, and we can only also take in so much of these emotions. And I think maybe that in Cancer season, Cancers are also very well known for having to handle and keep their emotions leveled at a level where they are able to be self-aware of their emotions as well. As a Virgo in Cancer season, a lot of these compromising, having patience, having to please everyone, all of that, if you haven't already, you will have a tower moment. If you haven't had the tower moment, you will have it very soon, probably later on today. Because of the fact that our patience is just running thin, and having to please everybody and having to accommodate and be of service to everybody else. Virgos, we're running thin. Our patience is running thin because we've given out so much. And in this season for our Virgos, what's going on is that we are doing a lot of that retreat. We are, right now, some of our Virgos are thinking, where is my next trip? With the Hermit, the Seven of Pentacles, where is my next trip? I want to go to the beach. I want to be by the water. I want to feel the sun hit my skin. I want to be somewhere where I am recognized. Being in hermit mode, you gain so much from being in hermit mode. Much like how Cancers also go about and having to also be in hermit mode and then coming back out feeling so much more. For Virgos, when they are in hermit mode, when they are in their me time, they too also gain from that, but not just that, but they come out with that glow. With the Seven of Pentacles, they gain not only a lot of insights and wisdom, but this is also to be shared. The Virgos say, we don't do healing for ourselves. We don't have access to self-awareness and not share with the world. Our Virgos' task is to go in hermit mode so they can come back out sharing those wisdom, sharing those insights and the wisdom that they have gained from being in a alone time. But also in hermit mode, you say this is very important for our Virgos, because when we go into hermit mode, when we have our alone time, this is a place, a sacred place for us where we are being recognized. Because we need to be, our Virgos say. We do so much. And a lot of us don't even recognize that. With the Six of Wands, a lot of us, we don't realize how much a Virgo, we don't see, of course, we don't see and we don't feel what it is that Virgos go through on a daily. But that is because we are not seeing it from their perspective, from what they see in their lens. You know, in your worldview, okay, looking at a Virgo, we do have this tendency to use our Virgos in times when we need them. And we have also this tendency, perhaps let me just think of an example. Let's say that you have a Virgo friend or a Virgo ex. You can't explain why you keep running back, okay? And that is because perhaps maybe this Virgo friend, this Virgo partner, this Virgo significant other, you notice that out of all the people in your circle, the Virgos are the ones who gives and gives and gives and gives with no explanation. We also have a tendency as Virgos to keep things to ourselves, and we don't explain or even tell you why. But it shows a lot in our actions, okay? It shows a lot in the way we speak, or maybe even a slight touch. And to you, that is very healing. This Virgo that gives this to you, it is very healing, and it is one that you cannot stay away from. And as a Virgo, we do have this, as a Virgo, if you are a Virgo, we do have a very healing aura, okay? We are earth angels. Just it's a task. It's a part of us that this is how we are wired. You know, we have, if you're a Virgo, you're probably a massage therapist. You are probably a counselor, a therapist, psychologist. You are one who works independently, maybe. If you are a Virgo woman, then you are probably in cosmetology, you're a hairstylist, you're a makeup artist, because as a Virgo, we like to do things independently. We like to also be our own boss, because somehow it just does not work out. It just does not work out in a group setting as a Virgo. Sometimes we have to be away and distant and be independent, because it makes it easier for us and also easier for you, Virgo says. And I completely agree. Virgos sometimes have this very strong aura they bring about to themselves because they are healers. And for some of us, for some reason, is very intimidating. A Virgo not only carries a lot of wisdom, a Virgo, I'm gonna go ahead and clarify some of these energies, some of these cards. I'm gonna go ahead and clarify the Six of Wands and the Six of Swords here. But I digress. I just go on and on and on and on and on and on sometimes. Some of the notes also that I have taken here for our Virgos. Back to what I was saying, I'm gonna go ahead and clarify the Six of Wands, Six of Swords, Two of Wands clarified. We need to be distant and away and have this need to be independent in our creative pursuit, perhaps maybe in careers. We have the need to just be distant and work independently. It can be very hard for Virgos to keep a track of all these energies that they feel on the daily. You notice that? You say as a Virgo, it's not easy to take on this earth angel responsibility. It's not easy to look at it from our lens, what we see, our worldview, right? We are this energy as a Virgo. We keep things real 100%, right? And sometimes that can be misconstrued. I have this feeling that in society today, our collective is not used to, seeing or even experiencing someone who's so sweet and nice and so angelic, perhaps. And as society, what we society was shaped to be, okay, especially after coming out of the pandemic, this whole COVID situation, it's not very likely to see an individual so real and true and pure. So for some of us, how society has become, for some of us, we think that's too fake, it's too sweet, it's too nice, it's too kind, it's too compassionate, right? And as a Virgo, that is also something that we have to deal with, because in our lens, in our worldview, you say, well, I'm sorry, this is just who I am. This is how I treat myself, and therefore I treat you the same way, right? But even that is not enough, Virgos say, with the Star card, the Lovers. Even that is not enough. What I'm getting from this, from clarifying the Six of Wands and the Six of Swords, you always having to step up and save yourself. Our Virgos we don't get help. We don't get, you say we do it all on our own. This is not something also that I can compromise with anybody, because it's what I see in my mind and it is what I radiate back out into the world. Our Virgos don't get the recognition. Our Virgos do not get the reprimand. We don't get the congratulations. We don't get the encouragement, because we are Virgos. We are the ones who have to keep that in order for them. We do it on our own so that we can better understand for ourselves and better understand for the people around us with the Star card. Coming out of you having to rescue yourself from certain situations and certain people, especially the energy that you're around. Coming out of that Six of Swords energy, you saving yourself every single time. Of course you need that retreat. Of course you need that self-reflection with the Star card. Look how she's looking down. Of course I need this retreat. Of course I need this trip. Do you know what I see on the daily? Do you know what Virgos see on the daily? For some of us, we might be focusing on what is right. For some of us, we are open to seeing only the good. But for Virgos, we see the good and we also see not the good. And believe it or not, the Virgos focus more on what is not good, so that they can go in and analyze and get to the root of it and be like, so if this is not right, you say, what will make it right? Right? Our Virgos may see only the good things in others. In fact, our Virgos see only the good in things and people. We believe only in the good. We see only the good in people. Even if their energy and their intentions isn't good, you say the Virgo says, I still see potential and good in you, because we see good in everybody and in anything. And yes, that is how we see our worldview with the Sun card. Virgos only and will only believe that there is only good. And if we see the not good, we hope and pray that there is something good in there. I'm really loving this energy, you guys. Thank you for letting me do this. Again, with the Six of Swords, confirmed. Yes, we do have to put ourselves together again over and over and over and over again. yes, we do feel the need to rescue ourselves because no one else is going to step in and do it for us, the Virgos say, because we have to on our own. And sometimes that retreat away from everyone, everybody and everything, that helps us heal. And when we are healed, we are more than willing, and we are more than willing and strong enough to heal other people around us. Just gonna look at these notes really quick. Being an earth angel, that's not an easy task, you say, for Virgos. Take what resonates and leave the rest. This also is also for our Virgo men. Take what resonates and leave the rest. You say that there are a lot of us as Virgos. Yes, we do keep things at a distance, and yes, we do keep things a lot inside. We are mutable signs. When we step into a room, our first instinct is your emotions, your energies, right? We pick up on the room's energy. We pick up on other people's emotions. Once we step into the room as a mutable sign, we have to make the changes, perhaps. We are an earth sign, so we bring somewhat of a harmony and moderation into the room. We are very adaptable when it comes to having to change the mood in the room. But you are also one to keep things at a distance. You are also one to keep things inside for a reason, right? Sometimes a Virgo has a very sharp tongue, and it comes out very sharp also, and can also be very intimidating for some. But our intentions, Virgo's intention, you say, is not to intimidate. And that's what's so tricky, that's what's so confusing for some Virgos, is that when they start speaking the truth with the Page of Swords, with that sharp tongue, like I said, when we start speaking our truth, when we start expressing our words and how we feel, for some it's very intimidating. But for a Virgo, it's not meant to intimidate or make people feel a certain way. You are doing that to yourself, a Virgo says. I am, however, speaking from truth. And why is it so intimidating? Because society is not used to hearing the truth. We seek for the truth. We go out and seek for the truth. As a Virgo, we carry that in us. As a Virgo, we carry a lot of those truths. And as soon as we start speaking about them, as soon as we start expressing about them, it's like people are in awe. Like, oh my gosh, I can't believe a Virgo did that. Oh my gosh, I can't believe a Virgo would say something like that. Oh my gosh, such angel, pure hearted Virgo would ever say something like that. So sharp, so strong, so aggressive. The sharpness in a Virgo's tongue and in a Virgo's way of expressing themselves, that comes with a lot. That is also a big part of us that we do not express because it's not welcome or even accepted in societal standards. You notice also that when you meet a Virgo, they have this other side to them, a different side to them, a very authentic, genuine side to them. You notice also that a Virgo could have, they have a tendency to be very overindulgent, okay? When we come to a phase where things can get impatient, we're getting impatient, things that we're saying to people, we feel we're not being heard, we're not being seen, especially. But as a Virgo, you say like we're doing so much of these being of service to other people and helping other people and listening to other people. You say most importantly, we listen to other people. We give as much advice as we can. Like I said earlier about this hermit mode, you going into hermit mode, healing yourself so you can better heal other people around you. That is a big task that you have to uphold, Virgo says. But when things just get overwhelming, especially when we don't get the recognition, especially when we don't get the appreciation, especially when we do so much on the daily and we're not being recognized for it, yes, we have a tendency to go into a different side of us that people do not see, that a lot of people do not see. What comes with having to please everybody all the time? That takes a toll on your body, Virgo, and then you go into a retreat. And comes with that retreat also you having to go into that place that you always go to, that is very sacred, that perhaps nobody really knows you in. This is your me time. This is your place of understanding yourself. And you ask so many dang questions because so many people put all the pressure on you. So many people put all of these emotions onto you because, well, perhaps maybe they're not able to carry and handle all of that emotional burdens, all of that emotional baggage. And being next to a Virgo, a person can automatically take that armor down because they feel a sense of comfort from our Virgos. When somebody steps into a Virgo's energy and aura, you automatically get that sense of comfort, sense of healing. And so you go and take this armor down, right? For some of us, we could be very impulsive and having to let that armor down and then just speak and ramble on about your issues or whatever it is without having to even ask a Virgo, hey, is this okay? Or a permission from a Virgo, hey, is this okay for me to vent to ramble on about, you know? Because sometimes as a mutable sign, much like Gemini, Sagittarius, and Pisces, we don't like to, first of all, we don't like to repeat ourselves, but also when somebody is venting to us, when somebody is giving us a whole story about their life, as a mutable sign, we take all of that in, not only your body language, not only your words, but also your feelings, your emotions, your soul, your spirit. A Virgo takes in all of that. And how much of that process that comes with it and having to analyze what it is that you just said. So we also need time to sit with that and hoping that she would understand. But sometimes a Virgo is just there for people to use. Excuse me. Had my coffee, had my water. The whole gang is here. I got my crystals. Hell yeah. Going back to, and I digress, always rambling on. I see, do you know what I mean? Not only, Virgo says, not only do we please every day and make you feel good every chance you get, but we also need our time of appreciation, because this gives us hope that we are still seen for what we do as Virgos. Virgo. Okay, that's something that I had written down. Going back to that sacred place that we go into. This is me time. Okay. And it's funny too how every time a Virgo decides to go in hermit mode every time they go, they decide to have their me time. They notice also that people they know around them in their circle take offense to having me time for the Virgo. Why do they take offense? Why are they so offended by a Virgo by choosing themselves? Because they're not attending to you. Because a Virgo says, I choose me over you this time. And why is it that people get offended when a Virgo retreats and goes in and heals? Because they are not facing you and attending to you and giving you the healing that you need, because they're doing it for themselves. And a Virgo says, how unfair, where is the justice in all of that? There isn't. Virgos don't get justice. They are justice. They just have to know that themselves and get used to it, pretty much. And also, there is no middle for the Virgos. You know, it's either yes or no, good or bad, and most of the time we see the good. Most of the time we see the potential. That's what's so confusing about the world, because in our worldview, Virgo says, in a Virgo's worldview, we only see what's not good, and then we go and fix it. And then we get to the root of the problem, and then as soon as we get to the root of the problem, it's done fixing. That's it. And then we're happy again. We're good. We're kind, compassionate. And then a Virgo says, how is it that we carry so much of this compassion and kindness, and then when we look at other people, it's like, why do they not see the potential in them? And a Virgo is like, I'm going to show you your potential in you. And then that's when we get caught up in having to fix everybody around us. You see, it's like an uncontrollable trait that we hold within us, a Virgo says. The healing does not stop. The being of service, the helping does not stop for a Virgo with the 10 of Wands. It does get overwhelming. It gets overwhelming, and that's why we go into this retreat. We go into this sacred place that we know of, that no one else know where that is. Only we do. The 10 of Wands also representing your ability to carry pain, great pain, and not only yours, but also theirs. But what comes with that? Patience that's running a little thin at this time, and hoping that Cancer season will help mend all of that. And it will, I'm sure of it. If Virgo, going into Cancer season, if you just let yourself sit in those emotions and those feelings, and you having the ability to understand everything and everyone, you'll be fine. You'll just be chilling throughout Cancer season, I'm telling you. Come back to this video, watch this video again, you know what I mean? Sometimes at the time that you watch this video is not the time that you were supposed to, but and then there is that perfect time that you do. And then it hits you right away and you're like, huh, I see. Like I said, there is no middle for the Virgos. It's either good or bad. It's either yes or a no. There's no in between. Having to compromise with people, listening to other people's problems, you say that too can be overwhelming and draining for you, because you feel like when it's your turn to speak your truth, when it's your turn to speak and be expressive about your emotions, when it's your turn to speak your truth. Most importantly, I want to repeat that again. It's like you're not allowed. Virgos are never allowed to express themselves to others, but other people are more than willing. And when other people express themselves to a Virgo, it's okay to a Virgo, but as soon as a Virgo expresses themselves, as soon as a Virgo opens their mouth and starts to ramble on about their life, it's like it's not allowed. So where do they go? In that sacred place to retreat. Because what do they get out of that? By retreating, by allowing themselves to have this me time, what do they get out of that? Gain power. Most importantly, a sense of themselves back again, back to their center, back to feeling themselves. This also comes with having to overindulge also, and like this need for a euphoric feeling. this obsession with having to feel euphoric for a Virgo. You know what I mean when I say that? Awesome. Not awesome in this case, because we do overindulge, a Virgo says. And yes, when it does come to having to change your hairstyle, to having to change your look, we have to look good. Are you kidding me? We deserve this. A Virgo says, I have to go all out with this wardrobe, with this new outfit. Hell yeah, I want to look good. And hell yeah, I'm gonna look good. And I do look good. Out comes what comes. Sorry, I'm gonna just do this. Out comes from having to have that me time. You come out of it glowing. You know, this glow that all women yearns for. We all yearn for this natural glow, right, ladies and gents as well? We have this obsession, this need for this natural glow, right? And when we come across a Virgo, you say, oh, how pretty this Virgo is. Oh, look at how they carry themselves. Oh, look at how clean a Virgo is. Look how organized a Virgo is. It's almost way too perfect to look at you. It's almost way too good. A Virgo can also be way too perfect for who they are. And this is where we get misconstrued about our personality, our outlook, our way of looking at our world and people. This is where we get misconstrued because we are too perfect. We make ourselves too perfect sometimes. And why is that? Because our task is to heal and be of service to others. And our role and our part when we wake up, we say we have to be good for them. You say we have to be perfect for everyone else. We want to be that great example for everybody else. We do this self-healing, self-retreat. We do all of these things because of you guys. Because we want to be that great example for you guys. Because we want to be that one to give balance and healing into your life. Makes sense. And that is why when we go into this me time, this retreat, we go all out. Because the bottom of the deck, the Nine of Wands, because we also need that appreciation and recognition. And if you're not going to give us the recognition, then we're giving it to ourselves. What do you mean you get all of the healing? What do you mean you get all of whatever it is that you need from us? But when we need something, it's like it's impossible. So we go in and we work for ourselves instead. And this is why when you meet a Virgo, most of them are very comfortable independently. They're very hyper independent in what they do and what they do for work and who they are as a person, their personality. You say most women also with the Queen of Swords, if you meet a Virgo woman, you know, and you will know, and you will feel it in their aura, that they are comfortably independent. With the Justice card, they're more than capable of handling themselves in every aspect. But that is what makes it hard on them as well, because of the fact that they are hyper independent, because of the fact that they have to be hyper vigilant. Also, the Queen of Swords, to me, that is a personality that carries no emotional, who is not really tapped into their emotions, but very well known for a sharp mind and sharp, their wit and sharp tongue. That is their protection also. Queen of Swords. The Justice being it, you know, there is no justice in this conversation. There is no justice in this situation, in this person. As a Virgo, you having to be very vigilant about other people's intentions towards you, because you are so pure and kind and compassionate. Yes, we are easily taken advantage of, you say. So in this me time, you go all out and having to appreciate and celebrate yourself. You notice that every time a Virgo changes something about themselves, they go and celebrate it. They just go and celebrate. And they're celebrating because they know that there has been a great impact. There has been a great impact that has happened to them in their life. And now they're having to wash all of that by retreating, by having me time, by having to appreciate one's own ability to handle things, a Virgo says. I really appreciate our Virgos. I don't think we realize how much they do and what they do and what their intentions are to other people, their intentions toward life and towards our collective, and having to make a contribution to our collective and having to heal, most importantly. You notice also our Virgos, you might be one to play the harp. You are probably one to play an instrument. Okay, perhaps maybe one with strings, a ukulele, sorry, the camera is moving, guitar, harp. You may be a Virgo who likes to do arts and crafts, something that will help with your focus, to help also tune in with your focus and your concentration. Our Virgos are analyzers. We are one who likes and also sometimes indulge in having to look at the problem and get to the root of the problem. This is our constant state. You know, our Virgos are in this constant state of having to process and analyze every little thing and every little person. It's uncontrollable. But yes, it is hard out here right now for our Virgos specifically, and that's why I wanted to do this reading, because our Virgos don't get the recognition. We don't. We really don't with the Hermit. But I think the reason for all of this is because a Virgo too, as a mutable sign, a Virgo too loves to be distant in a way, and having to look at things from a distance, and loving everybody from a distance. But also, they're just going after the life that they want. But in dealing with you, in dealing with the world, in dealing with the collective, in dealing with certain situations and having to find balance in their relationships, and dealing with business deals, and having to deal with people at work. Yeah, that takes a toll on them, Virgo says. Yes, it does. And that is why we need a whole week to be on this trip. And yes, I am gonna get my nails done. And yes, I am gonna be doing a lot of grooming if you're a man. And yes, I will buy a new outfit for this trip. And yes, I will get my hair done for this trip. And yes, my nails are gonna look so perfect. And yes, it's going to complement the outfit that I'm gonna buy, Virgo says. Shoot. Get that wardrobe. Get that look. Change your nails. This is a need for a Virgo. This is an essential. This is an essential. A Virgo says, I don't deal with the world and the people just so that, and not get the pamper that I need. The Virgo says, I do not deal with our collective's mood, and we do not deal with situations and not get rewarded for it. And if anything, the rewards come from us too. The things that Virgos have to deal with, you say. I want to also add this need to have, to play this different character. This need to play a different side of us that is very sacred to us. Take it how it resonates and leave the rest. Guys, we're almost an hour on this video, and I hope that some of these have brought light to you. I will be posting a Cancer All Signs video coming up next. Thank you for hanging out with me today. Virgos, I love you. We appreciate you for what you do. I see you. I hear you. And till next time, guys, take care always.